Hey guys, welcome back to Blade and Soul, and this time we're going to be talking about the Hongmoon Heart, and is it worth it? So, let's start by taking a look at its stats, and its stats are actually pretty good, even though it's just like this is the starter tier for it. Of course, there will be later on, there will be more stages added to it later on. So, it has 33 attack power and 297 crit. Now that may not sound a lot in terms of both attack power and crit, but every little bit helps, and it goes quite a long ways after you upgrade it over a period of time. So let's take a look at the effect now, which is the boss attack plus 14 and critical damage 200. Trigger Hongmoon effect, and it stacks up to 10 times, and each time it stacks, boss attack power plus 5 for 18 seconds during that effect. So keep in mind that this will stack 10 times. At stage 10, stack effect for boss attack power is 10, 5 times 10 is 50, and critical damage 100 for 6 seconds. At Hongmoon effect stack, add additional damage equal to 50% of attack power. So this thing is like a mini baleful weapon. I am not kidding. This thing is quite strong. Like, if you really think about it, it stacks up 10 times, and when it hits its stage 10, which is its unleashed form, well, it unleashes its true power, it gives you another 50% of attack power. So let's take a look at what it actually equalizes to. So if we take a look at it in the upgrade path here, we can take a look at it from the heart, which is right here, and let's take a look at a baleful weapon. Now keep in mind, baleful weapon and where is it? Let me switch here. Baleful weapon, we're going to go to baleful 12. Its effect is similar to I wouldn't say 210 power, because when it triggers the actual effect, it's like a mini baleful weapon, or like maybe baleful 10 or something like that, right? But like it's like a mini weapon with you that you have at all times that proc with your weapon that you already have. So for example, if you have a Ransu 6 like I do, you have your Ransu weapon, and then you have this effect going on at the same time with your Ransu weapon combined with your soul. Holy crap, that's gonna be a lot of damage. So now that we know that it's gonna give us quite a bit of damage, let's see how much material it actually costs to upgrade from 1 to 10. So from there's only one path right now, there's no reduced path yet, but the first few stages from 1 to 5 will be void fragments, and you'll be needing 20 of them, which I feel like void fragments are a given. They're basically free throughout the most of the dungeons that you do, and if you do see them, you might as well pick them up because it's free stuff. Oransu orbs, 135 of them, which is not that bad. I was able to get somewhere around 116 to 100, I think it was like 116 to like 110 Oransu orbs in one VT raid. That's if I bid for every single orb and win every single time, which I did, which is very nice of them. They let me. Oh my god, it was very nice. So Oransu orbs shouldn't be a problem, and if you do the weekly raids every single week, Oransu orbs should not be a problem either. So these two things, not a problem, which I don't really feel like it. These Elysian crystals aren't a problem either, because they drop from every single thing or every single lucent boxes that you get, or material box that you get from doing hard mode dungeons or even normal dungeons. Same goes for the sacred crystals, and same goes for the soulstone crystals, although the soulstone crystals is significantly more than these two over here. Like, if you combine these two materials right here, it does not equal 1600, I can tell you that much. However, I can tell you that soulstones are quite easy to acquire, and they are quite cheap. If my market loads here, they are quite cheap, which is only 40 silver, which is not that bad, and I bought a couple hundred just because, and being it's pretty easy to acquire in my opinion. The only thing that I feel like players will actually struggle with is the moonstones. Now the moonstones, in my opinions, in this game is quite rare, and I feel like there's not enough ways to get it. If you do hard mode dungeons, these things aren't a problem for you, because the hard mode boxes have a really good chance of dropping them. And if you do 6v6, this shouldn't be a problem either, because you do 6v6, and 6v6 gives lots and lots of moonstones if you're ranking or just getting battle points in general. So the only thing that I feel like, alright, that's worth anything from getting this thing to stage 10 is the moonstones, and maybe the soul stones if you're broke, but like you can get 500 soul stones for like, let's see, we'll do quick math here. Let me see, 40. Okay, so let's go for like a stack of 100. Let's say they're 45 gold, and you need like all 1600 of them. So let's take 45 times 16. 40. No, not 1600. That's not right. We're gonna take 45 times. Let's see. You would need to buy this what, like 10 times, 16 times. So basically, you kind of do this quite easily, and it equals to about 720 gold, which is not too bad, in my opinion. And if you already, I'm pretty sure most of you guys would have, you know, some couple of hundred soul stones laying around. Maybe your ults have some, maybe your main character has all of them already, which is already quite nice. Alright, so this thing right now is pretty cheap, because concerning the Elysian crystals and the sacred crystals, they're both really cheap items, and I feel like those don't really matter in the long run. It's the soul stones and the moonstones that will really be the actual cost of the heart. Okay guys, so let's actually talk about the real money that you're going to be spending on the heart is the moonstones. So if you're buying the moonstones, and if you don't have any single moonstone on you, you would want to buy them at around 8.5 to, well, right now the market price is around 8 gold to 8.5. So if you take 445 times 8.5, of course, you know, this when you buy moonstone, it's gonna go gradually up. So we'll go for 8.5. That would give us a grand total of 3,782 gold, 0.5, so 50 silver. And that is a pretty decent price for how much DPS this thing gives you. So combine that with the amount of soul stones you have, and that I would say this thing's total upgrade would be around 4,500 gold to 4,000 gold, which is, in my opinion, a very good upgrade considering how much DPS it gives you. And if you guys are wondering how much DPS this thing gives you, it gives you on BM 50 to 60k. Now I've a friend, which is, he plays Assassin, is Eclipse. He plays it, and his DPS increase is around 40k. So take, you know, this upgrade heart with a grain of salt here, and be sure to, like, do your rotation correctly, and you should get a pretty decent DPS increase. And I feel like this thing is really strong because of how cheap it is, because oils take 5 years to get, and like all the other stuff require jewels, in which they cost a lot more money. So with that being said, guys, how about I show you guys the parse for this video, which is 515k, but at the end of it I will show you guys screenshots of higher parses that I've done.
Yeah, It's our time to shine. Show that's the kind of state of mind you gotta combine with hard work and time. You gotta climb to the top. Don't let yourself drop till your heart stops. Let this beat rock. Got a new clock and a new stock for this new rock. Just let your mind loose from the new stock. Drunk off the goose, thinking that I'm too pop. Getting caught with a few thoughts cause I'm too lost. Off, the speakers can't even handle me. Giving what I got, nobody's gonna drain my energy. And I will never stop, I'm motivated by enemies. Setting up shop so everybody remember me. And though I am not going through life regretfully, I'd rather work non-stop, what they call incessantly, than work some odd job just to live life pleasantly. Already got lost in my mind, not a fantasy, I'm getting it. Forgotten soul, so stop, drop, and roll. You lost all control and pop off your ball. I got squat, I fold, I'm not bought, I'm sold. My stock rocks, it's gold. Hey, knock, knock, me home, it's shit, talk to close. I ain't stopping though, it's hip-hop, you know. Or is it rock and roll? I'm not dropping down, no, my pocket's grown. You can't stop the show, so get rockin' on. So let me break it all down for you. I ain't never giving up, I ain't never giving up. Taking that crown from you. I ain't worried about you, I ain't never. So let me break it all down for you. I ain't never giving up, I ain't never giving up. Taking that crown from you. I ain't worried about you, I ain't here to make friends. Yeah. I ain't never slowing down, keep on going till I'm found. No, I'm never slowing down, cause we're blowing up now. I ain't never slowing down, keep on going till I'm down. No, I'm never slowing down, cause we're blowing up. Hard words like a weapon, attack with no questions. In my own section and they still disconnected, cause their mind's been infected and they're filled with objection. Too filled for recollection, so we're losing all attention. They don't know I'm in contention, cause I'm gaining their attention. Cause I'm making a connection, lyricism and aggression got me feeling my ascension. In my passion, my profession, I'm attacking my obsession. Taking action and progressing, I go off on the enemy, that's what makes them scared of me. Make my plans carefully, then execute them daringly. They say I act recklessly, but that's why I'm effective. See, you can't predict my tendencies, I offer no transparency. Some people think I'm lost, others think I'll be a legend. I'm never gonna stop till I'm one above second. And my thoughts at the top, but my mind stay present. Don't let your dreams stop, cause dreaming is a blessing. They tell me all the same, told me I won't make a name. But it's not about the fame, it's about keeping me sane. So I stay within my lane, feel my blood pump through my veins. Feel adrenaline, no pain, welcome all to my domain. So let me break it all down for you. I ain't never giving up, I ain't never giving up. Taking that crown from you. I ain't worried about you, I ain't never. So let me break it all down for you. I ain't never giving up, I ain't never giving up. Taking that crown from you. I ain't worried about you, I ain't never. So let me break it all down for you. I ain't never giving up, I ain't never giving up. Taking that crown from you. I ain't worried about you, I ain't never. So let me break it all down for you. I ain't never giving up, I ain't never giving up. Taking that crown from you. I ain't worried about you, I ain't here to make friends.
Alright guys, so as you guys can see, this thing is already quite strong on its own. So I went from 474k to 515k on that specific parse. However, on screen right now is a higher parse that I've done. You guys can see 528k and 532k. So of course there's a line of error right there, and you can see quite a bit. So if you take a look at the one on 532k, that is a 60k increase, because you need a 30k for a to get to 500, and then another 30k to get to 530. So that's a pretty good increase. That's quite nice, and I do like it a lot. It's pretty good for what it is. So I highly recommend you guys pick this up. This thing is definitely worth it, and it might be a little bit overpowered. But I predict that one day they're gonna add more stages, and once the stages drop, the stack will stack up to 5 stacks, just like your weapon, and it will proc on a higher and even more deadly proc than it is now. So this thing is 100% worth it, guys. make sure you guys get this thing as fast as possible, because let me tell you, getting this much DPS for only like 4K is like absolutely amazing. It is giving you more DPS than your gloves. It is more DPS than your VT necklace. Okay, that's pretty strong, very strong. I highly recommend you guys pick this up. So thank you guys for watching today's video on the Hongmoon Heart, and with that being said, I will see you guys next time on Blade and Soul. See you guys then.